Hey everybody, welcome to the Modern Retro Corner. I'm Retro Mark, and you know what? I'm pretty bummed out right now. It's been about 2 weeks since I've even gotten my email for the RetroEngine Sigma, so I'm pretty bummed. It hasn't even arrived. Now I've seen some of your comments, and you guys either have it or you've gotten the email. And that's awesome that you got it. I've heard there's some technical problems with it, but hey, that comes with any machine, right? But like I said, I'm pretty bummed. I still haven't gotten it yet. And I'm really wanting this thing. I'm getting really antsy. So, I'm just wondering when it'll come in. What's that? To the corner! Whew, well, it finally arrived. How about that? Huh. Okay. So it came out of my corner. I thought it came in the mail. But hey, thanks, corner dude. Haha. Well, you guys asked for it, so here it is. The RetroEngine Sigma. Alright, so first off, what we're going to be doing is apparently we're going to be using our mobile device right here, our mobile cell phone. And apparently this is their new innovative idea as to where you're going to be able to, I guess, connect your phone to the RetroEngine Sigma. That's going to produce a Wi-Fi signal, and then it's going to jump off of your router, and then it's going to connect. I don't know how that works, but you know what? What the heck? Let's give it a try. Boy, you just gotta love that tune. Alright. Let's go ahead and hook up to the RetroEngine Sigma. And the phone has been connected. It is now testing the Wi-Fi. What? Error Wi-Fi connection? What the hell does that mean? Okay, so after many attempts, and they have failed obviously, of trying to connect my RetroEngine Sigma to my router via my mobile device here, it absolutely does not work. I get an error message multiple times saying something something dash ampersand something something dash, you cannot connect to the router. So you go to the help and you go, well, what is it that is wrong? Apparently on their website that everything's got to be so specific. Your router's got to be probably a certain router with a certain name and a certain password, a certain this, a certain that, a certain this, a certain that, and oh my God, I don't want to spend countless hours setting this thing up because it just doesn't want to connect. I mean, it just doesn't want to connect, and apparently all of you are having the same issue. So you know what? Screw it. I'm done. I don't want to do this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bypass the entire Wi-Fi setup and I'm going to do a boot state. And hope to God that actually works. After a long, drawn-out loading process, we finally get to the user interface. Well, this looks interesting enough. Alright, let's see what we got. We have the Amiga, then the Apple II, the Arcade, We have Kodai, which is your media selection. You also have N64, the Nintendo Entertainment System, the IBM computer, different ports for whatever you want, the PlayStation, and then RetroPie. Alright, RetroPie has different configurations such as Bluetooth, configuration editor, ES themes, file manager, RetroArch, RetroArch NetPlay, RetroPie setup, RetroPie Wi-Fi, run command configuration, your run command log, and show IP. These all allow you to change Wi-Fi, configure your controller, amongst other settings. Okay, let's finally get to some games. First up is Arcade. The first thing you see is a list of games, and at the bottom left-hand corner is a description of the game. These games come pre-installed onto the RetroEngine Sigma, so let's go ahead and try out Heavy Barrel. The game takes only a few seconds to load up, and you're playing an awesome game right here. So far so good, the emulation is almost near perfect. Okay, so right now I'm playing Heavy Barrel with the modern controller right here, and it's basically a reconfigured PlayStation 2 controller. I can't believe this little thing right here is what caused the biggest delay for the RetroEngine Sigma. So I want to talk about this for a second. It feels phenomenally great. When it goes into my hand, it fits perfectly. I mean, it's great. I like this little button right here, as you can see. This button right here, once you press it, it switches from digital, press it again, to analog, which is a really good thing depending on your preference of gaming that you're doing. And everything is already 100% configured. But that's not to say that you don't want to use this controller for anything. I would probably rather use this for the PlayStation, maybe a Sega Saturn, heck, I don't know. But right now it's the only thing available that I want to use. Plus, I could probably go ahead and set up my X-Arcade gaming stick right directly to it, and all I'd have to do is reconfigure that into it. So it's definitely, all it is, plug and play. You plug in one controller for the other controller, and it automatically maps it out. Alright, so let's go ahead and try out one more emulator, and that is the Nintendo Entertainment System emulator, and we're going to go ahead and play some Super Mario Bros. And test out the Retro controller. So far so good, but one major problem. They switched the buttons up. Alright, let's try this one more time. Alright, let's go. Come on, we got the jump, go, go, and shit! Okay, so I'm playing NES with the Retro controller right here, or the Saturn controller, if you will. The only problem is even though it's already configured to a certain database into the RetroEngine Sigma, you can still reconfigure this to any emulator you want. So right now, everything's kind of switched around when playing Super Mario Brothers, where A is here, B is here, and so it kind of messes you up a little bit. But otherwise, this controller is very sturdy, it fits great into the hands, and it's lightweight. I mean, I really like this controller a lot. So we'll have to see in due time if it holds up. But like I said before, with the modern controller, you can switch this out for the modern controller, or you can switch the modern controller out for the Retro controller, or you can switch it out if you have a Nintendo USB gamepad or any other kind of deal via Retro Link. So, I mean, they really do work very well. So, I'm pleasantly surprised, if you will. Alright, there is one last thing. How to put your games on the RES. Well, first you need to press the Start button and open the menu. Then go to Apps, then Desktop, and then select Yes, and then poof! You're on the Ambient desktop. This is where you will spend most of your time placing your video games, or how would you call it, ROMs. How they want you to do it is through Retro Control right here. Select Yes to turn it on. Once you hit Yes, then you will be provided with an IP address. Right now I don't have an IP address because I did a boot state, and so forth with the innovation. For me, this is way too complicated, so for right now, I'm going to go ahead and do it the old-fashioned way, directly into it. So all you have to do is go to the File folder, and go all the way to RetroPie, and select the folder. Once the folder is selected, go directly to ROMs. And once that's selected, look at all of the ROM folders. Didn't think there were that many emulators on here. Well, there's not. You have to put the emulators on, but these are just the ROM files, the directories in which it'll go into. You have two different ways of doing it. Either one, directly into the RetroEngine Sigma via USB cable, or two, directly through a USB. Man, when you look at this looks like a damn mess right here. Okay, so back to the desktop. Wow, look at all of this. There is so much that you can do with this little machine that I'm just hitting the tip of the iceberg here. I mean, seriously, look at all of this. There's just so much you can configure with.
Well, that's about it on the RetroEngine Sigma. I'm quite surprised how well this actually holds up. I mean, this little system right here, it's phenomenal. This is actually my first time playing a Pi, if you will. And for what it's worth, let's see, on a scale from 1 to 10, considering everything, I get a 7 out of 10. The user interface is quite easy to go about, and getting everything from copying your games onto the actual system itself, well, it's not too bad. It takes a long process, but it's there eventually. The whole innovation with the cell phone, trying to download different apps to get your phone to work, and just trying to use it as a streaming device and whatnot, it's out there. I mean, there's a lot of hidden potential for this little console that I have yet to touch, and I'll probably put it into future videos. Now, you're probably wondering why I didn't go into the 4K media service that's in this. Well, it hasn't necessarily come out yet. And another thing that you can do is there's something called RetroElect in there, and that allows you to do pictures, do other games, and it also allows you to watch videos via that. Now, I didn't have time to actually go about that. I just wanted to go ahead and review the console itself, how to probably set it up a little bit, also, and the games that are with it. And which were surprisingly, they were just arcade games. They weren't some plug-and-play games that you usually find. All in all, if you guys do have one, I hope you guys take the time to actually configure it to whatever you want. And I hope you do get fun out of it. Yes, fun. Just pure, simple fun. Well, that about wraps up my review for the RetroEngine Sigma. Let me know what you guys think about it so far, because you know what? I actually enjoy this little console. It's great. It's tiny. But boy, is it a mess when you have everything around it. My God. I'm absolutely enjoying mine. Well, this is the Modern Retro Corner. I'm Retro Mark. I'll see you guys next time.
If you guys like this video, don't forget to hit that like button. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, now is the time to do so. I post videos and have an ongoing podcast that comes out weekly, so don't miss out!